Hello, this video is going to be a review of DigiExpress, the iPod Professional's services. This is going to be a video about my experiences that I've had in having a couple of devices worked on by DigiExpress. And then I'm going to let the viewer draw their own conclusions. The two devices were iTouches and iTouch 1 and iTouch 2. iTouch 1 is the first generation iTouch, belongs to my wife. iTouch 2 is a second generation iTouch, belongs to me. Now, both devices' batteries were only lasting a few days from the time that they were fully charged, sitting on the shelf, until we'd go back and check and they would be discharged. Batteries quite dead. Called DigiExpress. The technician there explained that these batteries have a limited lifetime, and that both batteries need to be replaced. And you have a couple of options with DigiExpress and how you want to do this. You can replace the batteries or work on the device yourself, whatever you need to have done, or you can have them do it. In this instance, with batteries, if you want to do it yourself, they will mail you the battery, and for an extra charge, they'll mail you some tools. You can repair it and be done. Now, I elected not to do that because the screens on these iTouches, like the iPhones, are fragile, and I didn't want to damage or crack the screen and attempting to repair the device. So I elected option 2, which was to mail the devices to them. And then when you do that, they will create an order number for you, and in this case for the iTouch 1, it was $34.99, of which $25 the installation cost, and the remainder was for the battery. When they receive the devices, they also email you, letting you know that the condition that they received it in. Now, this is some of the paperwork, just going back and forth between DigiExpress and ourselves. Now, when they received the device, in this case the first generation iTouch 1, the product description is 16 gigabyte Touch 1G. They describe the skin that my wife has on the back of it, and the skin protector and the screen protector that's on the glass. The device powers on, they say. That's important. Remember that. The touch function and home buttons are responsive. Remember that. And full battery life. So they acknowledge that they received the device, that it does power on, so they meant by all the buttons, that the touch functions on the screen work, and that the home buttons are responsive and has full battery life. Now, I'm not sure what they mean by full battery life, why they felt the batteries need to be replaced if the battery's life is full, I don't know. But in any case, the devices are now in their hands. So work was done on them. Sometime later they mailed the devices back. I noticed when I got my device back that the battery still only lasted a few days. I plug it in, fully charge it, 2 or 3 days later go back, battery is completely dead. So the battery that was put back in here is responding and behaving identically to the battery that was supposedly replaced. Likewise, my wife knows the same thing with her iTouch. Further with the battery, she knows that the on-off button does not work anymore. And they acknowledge that it worked when they received it. We had contacted DigiExpress about this. He had no good explanation for the battery response, and they did say that they were sorry to hear about the problem with the first generation. So their letter was back to me saying, I'm sorry to hear that you experienced problems with your device after a repair, and they go on to explain how they take themselves seriously, error-free repair, and sort of defending themselves. And they give the opportunity to send the device in for reevaluation, which we did do. They say they say you will not incur any labor or return shipping charges for the service, which was good. So my wife did not desire to send the device back, being that we sent it in once for a simple battery replacement, and her iTouch came back, battery same condition, on-off button now broken. But in any case, we had a convincing technician. We mailed it off. They again get a product description when they received it, 16 gigabyte black touch 1G. He mentioned the protectors that are on there, and some scratches. And again, they say the device powers on, oddly enough. Battery life is at 40%, which is probably right considering the rate at which it's been discharged, and it was fully charged when it left here. Within a few days it was at 40%. It says, they mentioned about batteries. It's common for batteries to lose their charge in the shipping process. Well, that battery lost its charge sitting on a shelf in the house. So they had the battery, worked on it for a while, and then we got a letter back to them, got a letter back from them saying, due to a problem detected on the main circuit board of your device, your repair cannot be completed at this time. And they go on to explain the devices, you know, the issues that they can have, and how this can happen, and then they quickly default to the legal avenue of please look at our terms and conditions pages. So they again start defending themselves. We wait and we wait and we wait, and finally we call back up and say, are you going to mail it back? And the lady is apologetic. Oh yes, it's still here. So they end up shipping it. They ship it back to us. When we get it back, my wife notices now that not only does the on-up button not work, but the button down here that did work before doesn't work at all. So nothing's working on this device. I spoke with them again. They really had no better explanation. They just sent me pretty much a carbon copies. You know, another individual there, staff individual, said again that there is a circuit board issue, and so on and so forth. So 2 devices were sent to them. Both of them in need of battery repair or replacement. Batteries were supposedly replaced, sent back to us. Now the battery was any better than the first. The new batteries respond identically to the old batteries. Shelf life of just fully charged to dead of just a few days. Further, while in their care, the circuit board on the iTouch 1 mysteriously failed. They acknowledged that we received it in good working order, and yet when we received it back, it was broken. I'll let the viewer draw their conclusions from that. I can't recommend DigiExpress. I will never use DigiExpress again. I would never send a device such as an iPad, something much more expensive, to DigiExpress. So that's the status of iTouch 1 and iTouch 2. Again, I guess I can say let the buyer beware and draw their own conclusions. And this concludes this review of DigiExpress, the iPod Professionals. I don't think so.